All right, so the purpose of this is one, to do some announcements. Really, I only have two announcements. And also to just discuss the state of the project and hear from you guys if there's anything you'd like to see changed, if you need help contributing, if there's any questions I can answer for you, that kind of stuff. So first off, two announcements. One, I tried getting the GitHub organization DogeHouse, but it's actually being used just privately, so we're not going to be able to get that. Second is I haven't heard back from Vercel, so yeah, we're kind of just locked on the number of deploys we can do for that. So I may switch to somewhere else to do like PRs to see a deployment preview. So that's that. Other than that, if you guys have questions, you can add them in chat, or I'll add you guys as speakers.
Hi.
Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Me and a friend, we were listening to you, and we think a feature like posting image in the chat or screen sharing is something we would like to
Yeah,
welcome.
we're constantly in calls and we're constantly talking about a bunch of different code. But something we've had to do is we've had to go into like a Discord call and be muted just so we can share our screens.
That's kind
Yeah.
of going to be the way it is. Because, like, I mean, so, like, technically what you're doing is, like, maybe it should just be a Discord in general. But the use case for this is I want it to be audio first. So we're not going to be adding images to chat, and we're not going to add screen recording, which makes that a little bit more awkward. And yeah, you're going to have to jump to other things if you want to. If you
That
want
makes
that.
sense.
Okay.
Another thing. What are your plans on adding bot support, as in proper bot accounts in the future?
It's going to be after we get proper human support, then I'm going to add proper bot support. So it's something I want, but you're going to have to use private API until then, basically.
That's one I'm making right now. That's why I was asking, just so we get an estimated timeline.
There's no timeline on bot API at all. It's definitely
Okay.
I wouldn't wait on it is what I would
Near
say.
future or distant future?
Distant future for sure.
Okay.
You should just use the private API for now. Yes, chat's
Yeah,
recorded as well. I'm gonna post this as a YouTube video, so that's kind of how that's working.
yeah, the thing about the bots, I've been making my own bot, Dogecoin. It's basically like a weird economy bot, and the thing is, I have to make a queue for the commands so it wouldn't get throttled.
I mean, I think something like that's always gonna have to be a thing though. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna throttle you at some amount. Like maybe I can increase your limit to more than 1 second for bots, but at the same time,
Yeah,
you're gonna be
that's
throttled to some amount.
I
So you're gonna
think
need a queue and
half
all
a
yeah.
that.
second
I
would
think
be reasonable, at least
I think like
for
the mods.
bot
I think
accounts.
yeah, I think mods in general shouldn't have to do throttling. Like if the owner of the room trusts the people.
I mean, so I could maybe add bursting, but I mean, to be honest, you don't really need to spam the chat with things anyway. It's
Okay.
like good for them to be throttled. Is there a way to get verified bot or something? I will probably add that down the line because I think that makes sense.
In terms of WebRTC on the bots, that is something implementable, right?
Yes.
Because that's
I think always that's doing that.
that's one thing that I'm working towards. I'm just building up a backend for it first, and then I'm going to push WebRTC because my end goal is to have a functioning music bot.
Yeah, anyone with a DogeHouse account can connect to WebRTC, whether it's a bot or a human.
Okay.
You would just use you could copy basically the code that DogeHouse uses. It's a little bit jank / hard coded into our use case, but that's what you'd use. You could use Media Soup client if you wanted.
I'm making the bot client a little bit more flexible.
Yep.
So.
And somebody, I think Crispy implemented telemetry into the client side API, not API but library. So it broadcasts how many bots there are online.
The current bot platform that everyone is using at the moment, which is DogeHouse.js, they have a statistics website up right now. look in
Yeah.
chat.
Yep, yeah, Overset got it right. Kebab is the new
The
DogeHouse
framework I'm
JS.
working on is going to be a pull request to DogeHouse.js once it's done, so it'll be able to track the number of bots online.
And yeah,
But
I'll probably add in the future the way for bots to be able to join multiple rooms, because it doesn't make sense for a bot to have, say, a bajillion accounts so they can just join as many rooms as possible, because that's like the
now
only way they can do it right now.
you would have to
I
implement
actually,
that for users first before bot, wouldn't you? Because bot and
I
user are the same.
Well, that's when I would get to the bot API, because it doesn't make
Okay.
sense for a user to be listening to multiple rooms at once. I mean, maybe it does, and maybe that's something I'll do at some point. But that one's a low priority as well.
It's like multiple sessions would have to be created.
Right. Well, it doesn't even have to be multiple sessions. You could have one session, but you are connected to two rooms. I mean, that actually kind of sounds weird. So, like, but what I mean is, like, in our database right now, we restrict you to one room.
Bronze W just said in chat, shouldn't bots be only invited to rooms? I think that's actually a good idea.
So, like you're saying, they cannot join themselves.
I'm
Maybe.
thinking a little something similar to Discord, where
Yeah.
once the bot joins, you can have the bot offline. It'll still be in there, but once the bot comes online, it'll show up in either in the speakers or the listeners, depending on how it's set up. Something similar to Discord, where you have an OAuth URL, where you authorize the bot joining the server. You can authorize the bot joining a room.
Um,
The only thing about that is the only reason to have something like that is if bots can have elevated privileges. And at the moment, DogeHouse isn't that complex that we have a whole permission system yet. So if we add a permission system, maybe, but like a bot, like you'd only want that if,
um,
like, say the bot needed to be a mod so they can ban people or something.
I can speak.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, to me, it's not a bot we really need. Maybe it's more like an extension we can add to the room, and it work only during the room is on, and it's just a functionality we use, but not really a bot you invite and you let go out. And
Is there like a specific use case you had in mind?
uh, I don't know. Maybe just you on Discord you have a bot to get YouTube music, and you can just make a mod you use in the chat to do the same, but not really a bot you invite and you let go out.
I see what you're talking about. It's just like globally available.
Sorry.
I mean, there are a lot of like Discord, YouTube bots available, and I think for a time now, anyone can just set up their computer and make a little script that uses VB cable and just pumps it out to a user. I've been using that myself, except the script.
I'm just once I get this bot framework done, I'll have full pass through for audio in and out.
Good. Isn't
Although,
overlisted done already?
Ben, I did think about this earlier. What are you going to implement in terms of a privacy policy in the future, on terms of recording chats?
Well, there's not really anything I can do to stop people from recording.
Well, obviously, there's nothing physically that you can do from stopping people to record, but what would your terms be on recording chats in general?
I
Would
mean,
it be
maybe like,
discouraged without consent?
I mean, so yes. So I mean, so like before we have a built-in recording feature, it's kind of just the Wild West. But when we have the built-in recording feature, basically, I guess like we would have like the problem is there's like not a great way to enforce this. But the I mean the idea is you shouldn't be recording the room except with the official recording of the room like API is basically what the terms would be. But there's like no reason why somebody couldn't just record the audio as far as,
Okay.
and like there's no
I
way for
think
me to know you're doing it.
I think if we can allow people to record, that we just need to disclose in the terms that any room could be recorded at any time for whatever reason.
I think we should do it like TeamSpeak. It says out loud it's starting to get recorded, and the user has a red dot.
No, yeah, that's 100%. Like when the official API hits, that's what's going to happen. But like, for example, I'm recording this talk right now. I just, because I'm Manner, I put it's recorded at the top and stuff because I want people to know this, and I'm telling people it's recorded. But technically, I didn't have to tell you that, and I could just like have it recording. Like anyone in this room could be recording right now, and we don't know. And there's nothing I can really do about that. But as far as like the official API, I want it so yes, it's consent, everyone knows, and that sort of thing. But you should be using platforms like this, and Clubhouse and anything like this, assume they're always recorded anyway. Unless it's private and you trust the people there. Because the same thing about Discord, I could record any Discord call too. So,
hey man, I just want to say that I'm a big fan. I love your videos, and I think it's awesome that you've made coding funny and actually informative. So it's really great.
Thanks.
Yeah, and I actually had some question about accessibility, and I know you're planning to scale, and if that's something that we've considered, because I know that's something that often gets overlooked in the early stages of development. I'm working at a company right now, and we lose a lot of big deals because of accessibility.
So I personally want it to be accessible, and also like I personally enjoy using like hotkeys in my keyboard to navigate things. So I do want to set that up, but am I personally doing anything to look at accessibility right now? No, I'm kind of focused on other things.
Yeah.
So if there's like somebody that wants to help with it, great. I'd love the help on it, but am I personally dedicating time to accessibility right now? No.
Are you planning on implementing a native app for iOS and Android, or an Electron app for desktops in the future?
So Electron for desktop's already done, and it has more features. The iOS Android is going to be down the line after the website has traction, and it's going to be a React native app. But that is actually already under development. There's somebody that's done a good bit.
This React native app, where is that?
It's Baklava. Actually, no, that's our desktop. It's Pilaf.
And just a random question: why is everything in here named after food?
Because
were you hungry when you made this?
I was, yeah.
That makes sense. That makes
I
a lot
love
of
baklava.
sense. My favorite folder is the beef folder because the beef meat.
Yep. So as far as the progress of the new design, currently the desktop is done as far as all the components, and I'm about, I would say like 80% done with hooking up the networking, maybe 60%. And then the mobile view is done being mocked up, and the components are being built for it. And the tablet view is also done and is being mocked up. Actually, maybe the mockups are not, the mockups are done, but the components for the tablet view might also be done. I can't remember. So what that means is I would say we're basically almost done with the desktop dashboard, which is just the home screen. And that's the only screen right now. But this only really has two main screens. That's like 50% of it, and then the room we're currently in is going to be the other half. So you can think of it like the new design is like maybe 30% done, if I randomly do some percentages for you.
In one of your videos, you mentioned that chat is not currently being logged. Is that something you're going to end up doing so we have chat history?
Yes. I don't know. I probably won't give you chat history for a while, but it'll be logged eventually, yeah.
So assuming you'll start logging it before you tell us, and then once you get a little bit more time, you'll implement the actual chat log?
The only reason I'm going to be adding logging is for reporting. So whenever the report feature comes, logging will come with it.
Okay.
And then as far as there's one other thing the mute sound. So the thing with the mute sound is I don't really care what it sounds like. If somebody wants to PR a new sound, go for it if you don't like the current one. So that's my 2 cents on that. And then IO hooks not working. I haven't looked into what's going on with that. Go into the Discord and talk to the Baklava channel, and they can help with that.
Um, will you make something to specify you want a room, French room, by example, an English room, an
Yes,
Indian room?
tags are coming, and
Okay.
that's gonna be like one way you can tag the room.
I was also
Okay.
wondering if we're gonna have. I was also wondering if there's gonna be some way to. Hang on, can you guys hear me? I don't see a ring.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a
We can
thing
hear
where
you.
if you unmute, you don't always see that you're an active speaker right away.
Okay. Yeah, I've noticed now, like if you update a PR and you add like one line of text, you got to change like 60 files because we have an insane amount of JSON files. There's got to be a better way to do that, no?
Are you talking about from the translations point of view?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you going in and touching the files? Because there should be a sync command you can run.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying to manually touch them. Like I usually update the English one, but then when whoever's reviewing the PR, I don't know, you just
Oh,
see
I
like
know what you're
60
talking
files
about. You just see
changed.
a crap load of translations. And I actually
Yeah,
am kind of
exactly.
annoyed by that as well. And I don't know what a good solution for that is yet.
Well, right now I just filter out the JSON files, but yeah, I don't know.
Hi Ben,
Hello.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the first time I'm participating in a room, so it it's great. I'm feeling very wonderful. I had a question.
Yes.
My question was, do you have any uh, vision for the like? There will be multiple clone of Clubhouse coming. So how do you plan to differentiate from the others?
One being open source, two being powered by Doge, three being Twitch oriented.
Ah, okay. Okay, that's
Could
fine.
you elaborate on that last part?
Basically, I see Twitch but audio first. Like you literally take, instead of a live stream, it's a Clubhouse room. So we have Twitch chat and we have Twitch emotes, and you can subscribe to your favorite like streamer or audio streamer, if you will. And then the streams are recorded afterwards, and you can see all the recordings of like podcasts you've done. And I can then go and clip it, and there's a clip section. I can see all the clips for audios. Basically Twitch but audified.
That's
Ben,
Yeah,
a
it's
neat
great.
concept.
so
I actually have a problem. I'm trying to connect with the Windows desktop app, but I have the two-factor authentication on my GitHub, and it actually don't work. It redirect me on a GitHub link, but the page doesn't exist. So I can't try the desktop app.
Can you make a GitHub issue about that?
Yes,
hey
I will
Ben,
do
have
it.
you mentioned in one of your videos that you're no longer seeking VC money and you might have some angel investors, but have you received any pushback on the angel investor front regarding the fact that DogeHouse is open source?
So actually, no. I think everyone, as far as I feel like people are wondering whether it's a problem, but as far as investors, there hasn't been an investor that has mentioned it as a downside. The only person that has even like said the word open source has been Jason, and Jason liked the fact that it was open source.
Gotcha.
One of the major reasons that I'm doing really anything on this project is because of its open source. Because it's one thing whenever somebody can create a really good platform. It's another thing when they can do that and keep it open source. So I really do commend you for that. Because a lot of people would close the source immediately because they can see a lot more money by closing the source as opposed to keeping it open.
I mean, I honestly don't think it's going to be a detriment to as far as money goes either, but that's just my personal view.
That's fair enough.
Somebody in chat, I just noticed, said Twitch-oriented approach compared to stereo. I've actually talked about this on the first day, but I've forgotten to send it to you.
Yeah, I've only
What is
looked at the
your
landing
opinion
page,
on
but I
stereo?
think like what we're doing is similar-ish to stereo.
Okay. Do you see stereo as a threat?
I honestly don't know how big they are, so at the moment, no.
Okay.
Well, and they also have their own individual things that are different from what we're going for, so I don't think it's directly related.
They also have like 100% less Doge, so we have that going for us.
Exactly.
Doge is for a win.
Yeah.
DMs have not been added, but you can whisper somebody. But it looks like maybe whisper is not working right now. You whisper by doing hashtag.
I think the tag just got broken.
Oh, okay. So it's hashtag and then an @ sign and then the person's name.
Yeah, I think they just tagged wrong.
How do you whisper like in the API?
So the way it works, I believe, is we have a chat token for it. So if you look at how chat's implemented, I think there's a special token for it. But I didn't do the whisper part, so I don't remember.
Okay.
You have your normal authentication token and your refresh token right now for most private APIs. So I'm assuming you would implement something similar to that for the public API.
Yep.
All right.
How do you plan to market DogeHouse besides YouTube? The main way I plan on doing it is after the new design hits and like it's good, the bugs have been mostly gone.
Worked out.
Then I'll start doing events with other people in tech.
Do you think we can get Elon on there?
So I would love to have Elon, but I actually don't want Elon like right now because Elon will just crash the platform. I want to like slowly build it up to a point where like our infrastructure is really solid. Oh, thank you. Elon's here. And then I want Elon to come.
Yeah, we had like a party where there was like Windows Defender, Windows XP, Linux Defender,
Bitdefender,
Antivirus, WinRAR, Wasp. It was pretty fun. I'll send you the Discord link.
We had a bunch of other accounts in there that were just the most ridiculous names. Mine was Bitdefender.
Han, bro, that was basic. That was like borderline API abuse. What you were doing.
No. I don't mean that. I mean the other thing I've done. Don't tell Daddy Ben about that.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I want to get yeeted later for saying I made light mode. Oh.
Okay. Hi. I have two more questions, just related to the previous discussion. That how much the platform can handle, how much people.
No idea. I think the max we've had is maybe like 300 listeners at once.
Oh wow, that's impressive. And another one is why did you choose to integrate with Twitch? Why not anything else?
Well, it's not integrated per se with Twitch. Twitch, I just feel like I like the features that Twitch has. And I think that would make a good I just think the idea of having Twitch features combined with Clubhouse audio rooms sounds appealing to me. And I mean, yeah. How am I thinking about doing verified accounts? Verified won't be for a little bit, but I mean, we'll just probably have a person that's like, hey, are you actually legitimate? And if you are, you get a tag. Or it's like whoever can DM me. But actually, I don't think I want to make it that way because then I'll get spam DM'd. We'll see. Am I planning to pay people to host their podcast on DogeHouse? So the thing is, I don't think so because there's no downside to dual hosting on DogeHouse. Like, you don't have to be exclusive. If you like if you're putting your podcast on Spotify after it's recording, there's no reason why you can't record it on DogeHouse first. So there's like no downside. It only adds to discovery, and they may get inadvertently paid. For example, when we add subscriptions, they can get paid by people that want to listen to them, for example. Are you planning to compete against Clubhouse? I mean, yeah, we're kind of directly competing against Clubhouse. But in my opinion, like Twitter Spaces, I feel like is gonna kind of clap Clubhouse.
Have you thought about any other ways to monetize besides subscriptions?
So there's gonna be three things: Doge Nitro, Doge subscriptions, and Doge ads.
Doge subscriptions.
Yep.
I'm Doge listening.
I'm also Doge listening.
How's Doge
And
listening
somebody
work?
asked if this is live.
How would Doge ads be implemented onto the platform?
Yeah.
It's not going to be for that one's going to be definitely the very last one, and it would be, for example, when you listen to Spotify or a podcast, they play ads at the beginning. It would be like that. So I'm thinking just keeping it for recordings, but we'll see.
Okay, sounds good.
Are you gonna do any banner ads?
I'm sorry.
I don't really
Yeah, the
like
design
banner
should-
ads, so I would really don't want to do them unless they're like extremely necessary for some reason down the line. But I'm going to be personally resisting them. I don't think it really makes that much sense because this is not really a platform where you like are scrolling. This is really more of like you're listening.
I have a serious question. Ben, are you serious on DogeHouse?
Did you say, am I serious about DogeHouse?
Yeah.
What's your definition of serious?
Are you planning to develop the DogeHouse as a go-to voice platform? I mean, the biggest platform or the little guys in the voice communication platform?
Oh, it's definitely going to be a big boy platform.
Oh, okay. How do you plan to compete with the big guys?
I mean, I think basically my plan is to do exactly the three things I said earlier. One, it's open source. One, it's powered by Doge, and three, the feature set is going to be Twitch, and no one's doing a Twitch feature set, at least right now.
What exactly does it mean to be powered by Doge?
It means that one day Elon Musk will be on the platform.
Okay.
Are you gonna have your entire TikTok and YouTube community spam tweet him to get on here?
Honestly, I don't really feel like doing any type of spammy things to try to get Elon on the platform. I just know like eventually Elon will hear about this in one way or another, and then maybe he will come on.
Right.
So you're just building it up in anticipation for the moment that Elon will inevitably come on this platform.
Yes, but the thing is, like, we won't be ready for Elon for a while anyway, because we would need to be able to have like the infrastructure to support thousands and thousands of listeners.
Because if Elon comes, you can already tell he's going to bring 1 million Tesla fanboys with him.
Exactly.
Elon Musk is the ultimate stress test.
No, I think that's PewDiePie. PewDiePie is the ultimate stress test. PewDiePie has triple the following than Elon Musk has.
Yeah, so do you plan to market this for tech and developers? Like, do you want to keep this niche, or do you want it to be popular?
So that's the other thing. The way I plan on competing is starting this in tech, and so I can do things that are really good for tech people first and making that very good. So like Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces are all topics. I would like to keep this tech focused at first, but eventually I do see expanding it. But like for example, one thing that tech people really care about is it being open sourced. So like I want to do things that tech people like first, for sure.
Will you ever integrate some kind of Doge stuff or some blockchain stuff?
Probably. There's a chance. Yeah. There's definitely going to be a subscription for DogeHouse that you can only purchase with Dogecoin or something, and that it's going to like be a special perk.
And that's pretty awesome.
Alright, I have a feature idea, although not sure about it. Uh, would there be a way to share code? Someone suggested earlier on to share screens or pictures. I think just sharing code, similar to one of your extensions. I think it was like stories, something like that. Would that be possible? And if yes, is that planned?
So we have inline code snippets right now. That is what I want. And as far as code blocks, you should just do a gist and post the link.
Okay.
Because this chat right now is like also small. It's just not made for that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's very difficult to post anything in a longer message.
And also like syntax highlighting.
It also lacks syntax in general.
Yeah.
Hi.
I remember somebody suggesting stories like Instagram or YouTube stories, but it will be only sound. What do you say about that?
I mean, that's going to be, so I don't know if I'm going to call it stories and make it a special alternative thing, but that's kind of clips, like audio clips.
Okay.
Do you ever plan to have email registration alone in the future outside of GitHub and Twitter?
Yes, but that's going to be later when I feel like at that point I'm going to need a way to moderate things. And
Is
like prevent
DogeHouse
spam.
your main project right now, or do you also have some projects on the side?
No, DogeHouse is my main project right now.
I'm not sure if it's appropriate to ask, but how are you funding the project right now?
Right now, it doesn't have any like financial costs, if you will. So nothing. In the future, I will be getting funding.
Right now, are you spending from your pocket?
Yes, and as far as like cloud stuff, the hosting, that kind of stuff is currently using Google Cloud credits. So
Will your YouTube videos that you make on this platform be able to sustain it for a substantial amount of time, assuming that credit runs out?
oh, when credit runs out, we'll switch to a different place. But also, by the time credit runs out, we'll have an investor.
How long do you expect the credit to last, if you don't mind me asking?
No idea.
Okay, you said this would be like Twitch for audio. So is there a way to stream desktop audio, not just mic audio? If I want to, let's say, play sounds or music, or even like connect an electric instrument and play.
So
Is that
I was playing guitar today.
That's what I was gonna say. You should get an
works
audio
great.
thing. There should be like an audio thing that you can use and just switch your mic to that.
Yeah, it's called DB cable or black
Alright,
hole
so
for
that's
Mac,
no,
but
not
I've been having bad experience with black holes. Just use BB cable.
yeah, so that's something I should do on my side.
There's also a virtual mixer under the same company that makes VB cable, but I can't remember what it's called.
I think VB cable is a lot simpler. I think you're referring to Voicemeter.
That's what it is.
But I think it's only for Windows. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it is only for Windows. So
I don't know. I was doing something similar today. James, you were in that room. How's that sounding?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was a fun little concert you had going there.
I had a little concert on DogeHouse.
Yeah. I'd love for more of that too, and especially like with subscription stuff, like that'd be really cool to have people doing concerts and stuff.
it would
Ben, when
give creators a way to sustain themselves on this platform.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's how subscriptions. You get paid for subscriptions.
Yeah.
Hi Ben. Can you give us any number of developers that are working on different platforms like mobile, web, and desktop, and so on? Like each number of developers?
I mean,
Aren't
if
there
you
over
go,
1,000 contributors?
yeah, just go to GitHub and you can look at the contributor chart and stuff. That'll probably be best.
We have over like 250 around that right now.
Are they separated number or the total? Do you have any chart?
I'm checking right now. There are 246 contributors on the DogeHouse project.
I linked it in chat for you.
Oh,
Hey Ben,
thanks.
when you do get an investor, how do you foresee actually spending that money? Is it going to be mostly on infrastructure or engineers or?
Probably an engineer.
Gotcha.
So I can quit my full-time job as a software engineer and join the DogeHouse engineering team.
Possibly.
I don't know if you're joking, but that's amazing.
Do you have like a foreseeable future estimate for that, or is it distant future or anything like that?
So the current timeline is I'm going to be applying to 2 more incubators, YC and Techstars, and then I will most likely pick the best one that I get into. And then as far as timeline for that, I'm guessing I'll know more in like a month.
So investors are going to be a much longer term situation than just a few weeks.
Right. So I wouldn't hire a dev for maybe a month, and then I wouldn't hire a lot of devs until like 6 months.
Like in your hiring developers, how would you go about that considering the number of people who are contributing to the project every single day?
I don't know if I'm going to do a split as far as we create like an open source fund, or if I'm only going to use open source as a pick best contributor, and then best contributor is then working full time. So I haven't decided which one I'm going to do yet. And maybe it's a mix of both.
All right.
I mean, one
Go
thing
ahead.
would be
Could you say
paying
that again?
contributors per the amount of work that they actually put into it.
Yes.
So kind
That
of
would
like a
be
reward
difficult.
system. GitHub monitors all the commits that everyone does.
Well, we couldn't do it purely on commits because
You
people
couldn't do
can
it
do
purely on
one
commits,
character.
but those commits hold the data that shows exactly what every contributor has done in terms of time and code.
Yeah, it's not a problem with that. It's more of like I'll need to think of a system that's easy to maintain and is not just like strictly worse. As far as like I have to now spend a ton of time trying to manage how many people are working on how many things and pay them accordingly. So I need to set up a system where it's also easy to like automate.
So you can set up a GitHub bot then.
The problem is like he was saying earlier, you can't just do it based on the commits, so that's what makes it difficult. I haven't really thought too much about it. I'm kind of putting it off because it's not really something that's going to happen now. And like also
That's
the platform, the platform doesn't make any money right now either, so that's a thing as well.
How do you actually? Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
How do you actually choose the collaborators for the GitHub repository?
It's basically whoever wants to help.
So one question in regards to employees, I know developers and full-time like engineers and that was mentioned, but in regards to other fields and business marketing, etc., do you have any vision? Would that be before or after full-time development or engineering staff, or do you have any idea about that?
Definitely engineers are priority. I don't think we were gonna hire non-engineers probably until later. I may get like a product manager type person maybe earlier, but engineers are definitely first prio. In the future, do you expect to have DogeHouse be a full-time job for you? Well, currently DogeHouse is close to a full-time job for me now.
Man, I'm coding with Angular at my job right now, so DogeHouse is just, something to take the edge off.
I feel bad for you.
Oof.
Oh, you poor thing.
Can we get F in chat for that one?
You can inject React into Angular. It's just a little bit of a process, though.
Ben.
Yeah.
Do you expect to adopt any of the unofficial APIs to official tender for things like the bots or some of the Doge Garden? Sorry, I'm thinking money right now.
Oh, currency.
I was thinking money, and then I was talking about this. I'm sorry. Do you expect to bring any of the unofficial APIs for the bots or some of these other Doge Garden repositories into the official DogeHouse, just to be official for DogeHouse?
As far as you mean, like bringing it into like an org, we don't have an org right now. We'll probably have an org in the future. And if they want to be a part of the org, I'm cool with that. If they want to have it as their own independent project, I'm cool with that too. So it's going to be just up to the independent owner. Around when will the new design be ready? I would like to get a prototype of the new design done by this week, as far as on like a subdomain that you can test out. It won't have the entire design done, but you'll be able to have some parts of it designed.
Is the design going to mess up any of the unofficial APIs? The implementation of it.
So we're going to be deprecating. I don't know how closely you've looked at the API, but we're going to be deprecating non-F handlers. So right now, sometimes you make a request and then you wait for a response, and that response is like _done. All that stuff is going to be gone, and we're going to switch over to more of a, you make a request and you get a response.
That would be, so instead of having to listen for another opcode, you're going to have something similar to socket.io then?
Yes, we basically are using a UUID to for an entire round trip of a response or request.
Okay.
But basically all of them are going to use very close to the same functions. They're just using that new interface. If you look, we're going to be releasing the Kebab API. It may already be released. I don't know if it's already on NPM, so you can also use that.
How are you maintaining a design system? Do you have any guideline for that UI design?
Yes. If you look at if you join the Discord, there's an entire Figma document. We're not using GraphQL, and we're actually not really using REST. We're just using WebSockets.
Okay, I was just looking at the translations because the German translations seem sometimes I don't know, kinda arbitrary, kinda bad. And I was wondering if the translations were get generated by a computer, just by humans, or how they got to be.
So currently all the translations are made by humans, but sometimes humans act like bots and give bad translations, I guess. So like I don't know any German, so it's kind of like whoever did went and added German stuff. So there's not exactly it being proofread.
Okay, because some of the German stuff kind of sounds like Google Translate or something like that. And also I was wondering if the room status should be translated, because in some languages it is, and in some languages it isn't.
What are you considering room status, like the description?
The fueling rocket, for example.
Yeah, so that can all be translated, yeah. I think it just hasn't been yet.
Because in Spanish it is, in German it isn't, in French it isn't, and yeah.
Yeah, so if you see something that's ever not translated, it's not because it shouldn't be translated. It's probably because it's a new key that hasn't been translated yet.
Yeah, that's a problem. I made an issue about
translate it.
Well, and then sometimes also translations, they'll be made, but they'll be on staging for a little bit, so they might not be seen immediately.
Yeah, Ra, I think I assigned you to that, so you should be good to do that if you still want to do that.
Ben, have you considered implementing socket.io?
Well, like only on the front end, you mean? Because we're not going to use it for the server.
Okay.
Because we're already using Elixir, and there's not really a good reason to switch. Like raw WebSockets have been working fine.
Okay, I was just curious.
As a big contributor, am I going to get paid at least some cut from Doge Nitro's profits? So it's probably not going to be like specifically from Doge Nitro's profits. But if I set up an open source fund, then that's how you would get paid. Or at some point, you may just be a employee / at some point. And I said employee / at some point. I meant employee / part-time / something. Freelancer, contract, fill in the blank. Will there be a profanity filter for chat system? I don't think so. Main reason why is if I ban a word, then somebody will just use that word with a $sign in it. I personally don't really see a big reason to do profanity filters. Now, with that said, I think having a terms of service where people, get banned for saying things that are harmful, whatever, you can also moderate your own room.
Not banning words because leet speak is the only way to get around it.
I've seen uses the company's phonetic swear filter, but it's paid on.
Did you ever come up with a solution for those two issues you mentioned in your latest video about the display name?
Yeah, now we use usernames for everything, and I haven't added it yet, but we're going to start hashing the GitHub IDs.
Right.
When DogeHouse gets incorporated, do you have any idea what state that's going to be out
of? It's going to be a Delaware C Corp probably, but it's going to be through Stripe Atlas. Most
C Corp or an S Corp?
I think it's a C Corp. It's just going to be Stripe Atlas's thing, most likely.
Have been. Circling back around to Doge subscriptions, how are you going to manage payments on that? Are you going to run through an official bank or a third-party platform like Stripe or Square or PayPal?
Yeah, it's probably going to be through like Stripe would be my first guess. Is probably just for ease of use.
Okay.
I think Dogecoin will be better.
I mean, that's definitely going to be a thing too. But we need both.
Okay.
What is?
On Dogecoin, are you going to be willing to host wallets for people who don't fully understand how to set up Dogecoin wallets?
I've not thought of that at all. Would you recommend doing that?
I don't have a bunch of experience, but whenever the initial Doge hype came up, I found it relatively difficult to find Doge wallets outside of brokers or not user-friendly UIs. So if you were to implement, I believe it's in Java, the Dogecoin wallet into this application for payments, that could also serve you well for a coin or a currency system within the application as well.
I mean,
where you can convert coin to Dogecoin and vice versa, as long as you have.
I don't know if I want to have my own Doge currency. I don't know if I'm going to do that. If I do something like that, the only reason it would be like for Twitch bits sort of thing, for tipping.
Okay, but back to that wallet, would you consider hosting Dogecoin wallets for the people who don't know how to do that?
Oh no, like how that would work. So okay, for your official question, I think how I would do it is those people would just use regular money. Is probably how I would have that. Like I think I'm going to leave the Doge and the crypto stuff to people that know how to do Doge and crypto stuff. And if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. But there's special perks for the people that do crypto.
Okay.
So it's a reward for those that understand crypto.
All right. Say if somebody like me or somebody who knows more than me on the topic wanted to go in and make a tutorial or write a little 4-minute blog read on how to set up a Dogecoin wallet to work with DogeHouse, would you be able to push that to the public as second option other than, say, debit or credit or PayPal or something.
Are you just saying, like, am I okay with people posting content about how to set up Doge things?
I'm saying, would you put that like as a button next to the payment methods on, say, if you select between debit or Dogecoin, the Dogecoin has a little info card next to it saying how to do this, and it'll link you to a video or a blog post or something of the sort.
I mean, when we get there, sure. I don't mind having like an info thing, like how do I set up crypto, sure. But I mean, yeah.
Okay.
This doesn't really fit to the crypto kind of topic, but is there a specific reason why you guys went for Elixir as a backend instead of like Python 3, for example?
So the reason why we went with Elixir is because I thought Elixir would be fun, and I find Elixir more fun than Python for backend.
Let me guess, Elixir was the first thing open on your computer whenever you started it?
Well, I specifically wanted something. I mean, so like I'm building a Discord clone kind of, and Discord also uses Elixir.
That's a fair point. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Has DogeHouse overtaken Saffron as your main project you work on? So yes, Saffron is kind of in maintenance mode right now. So I'm not adding any new features because I'm mostly working on DogeHouse.
How will bots work?
I haven't thought about a specific different API. At the moment, they're just going to use the private API.
Offsha.
Okay.
Bots right now,
Yes.
the major API that you can use is DogeHouse.js by the Doge Garden team.
Yeah, I saw.
Okay, use Kebab.
Yeah, there is Kebab as well. DogeHouse.js, I just seem to find a little bit more convenient, and I'm currently rewriting a large part of that framework to make it much more user friendly and also much more class based as opposed to function based. So I'm doing my part to help make it much easier for the community to make bots and further push this platform beyond just users in a chat, so that we can have much more interactive bots similar to Discord, if you will.
Is there a way to become a listener again?
Yeah, if you click on your face, somebody just, I think, moved you, but you can also click on your face and change it. Am I considering splitting the infrastructure to microservices and use gRPC maybe? Nope, I think I'm just going to do an Elixir monolith. How can Elixir be better than Node.js for backend? I actually kind of like TypeScript
In
that
pretty
it's
much
typed,
any way.
but other than that, like Elixir is kind of a hotter language, and it's kind of fun when you have a lot of processes.
Do you plan on migrating away from like Google Cloud or anything like that in the future and moving to like physical dedicated hardware?
Probably when the credit runs out, yes.
Where is the currently where is the backend hosted? Is it like on some kind of Amazon Web Services or something?
Google Cloud.
Okay.
When you say credit, is that like the $300 credit that Google gives for free?
No, it's like you get credit you get for being a startup.
Oh, gotcha.
When will we start putting and combining the Kibbe components and adding smart components? That is currently already being done by me right now. How long did it take you to learn Elixir? I don't remember, like maybe a month. Largest room so far, 300 users.
Do you mind if I ask you an off-topic question?
Sure. The meeting's pretty much almost done, so we can do off topic now.
Vicender, are you still occasionally maintaining that, or is that just kind of on a contributor basis?
No, I don't touch the code base of Vicender. It's done as far as me
Do you,
touching it.
do you still maintain its API and stuff and backend and keep it online?
Oh, it's definitely still online. I'm just not doing code pushes to it.
Are you gonna keep it online?
Yes.
Okay.
Ben?
Hello.
Hi. I haven't watched your videos.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't know if this question is answered or not. But I wanted to ask if you are going to keep the name Doge, because the meme, the person who made the meme, like the picture, wasn't so happy about the meme. and I've heard of people who have problems using memes in their music videos, for example, and they had to cut it out. So have you had thoughts about the name Dodge and the dog and everything?
So I don't know if the name is going to have problems. I plan on keeping the name DogeHouse, but we're not going to be using the Doge image as far as like the one we currently have in the new design. We have a totally different logo.
Okay, thanks.
Earlier you mentioned there's already an Electron app. Where can I find that again? Which
if you
folder?
go to the releases tab, or if you go into Baklava, that's where the code is.
Releases. Oh, DogeHouse setup. Is there a Linux setup? Oh,
there should be a Linux thing. I haven't tested it though.
Unfortunately, the Linux one is not working at the moment.
All right, guys, I'm going to bounce, but it's been great. And yeah, I'll see you guys all later. Yeah, thank you, Ben. It's awesome. Huge fan. Super excited to be a part of this. So thanks, everyone.
Oh, here it is. DogeHouse 1.0.16_amd.dev.
Does anyone have any last questions before we end the meeting?
Yeah, I had one. How do the UI designers contribute to the project?
At the moment, you can't. I only specifically want one UI designer. That way it is coherent, at least the design.
Can you make any suggestions though?
Say that again?
Can you make any suggestions to the designs?
Oh yeah, you can definitely, if you have like things that you think should be improved or whatnot, if you go on Discord and do under the #design channel, you can say if you have any feedback.
Okay, thanks.
When will the redesign be launched? I want to get a subdomain up this week. How will you scale Postgres in the future? I don't know. I've never scaled Postgres, so I mean, I'm just going to Google it.
Yeah.
Mr. Wolfman, mute.
The Doge next to your name is for if you're a mod. All right, guys. Thanks for coming to this meeting. We're going to have another one next week at the same time. I will see you then.